Drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles in 2017 and continuing his career with the Miami Dolphins, Las Vegas Raiders, and Atlanta Falcons. This wide receiver has pretty much done so much throughout his career, not only by being a walk-on in his college time, but also leading it all the way to being a special teams captain. Can you guess who this wide receiver is? Let me know in the comments below. We will talk about this player as our featured player in the third episode of our player analysis series presented by GoBillsPodcast.com. We'll talk about him right after the intro. Can you guess who that wide receiver was that played for the Philadelphia Eagles and won a Super Bowl championship in 2017 and also played for the Miami Dolphins, Atlanta Falcons, and Las Vegas Raiders? If you guessed none other than wide receiver Mack Hollins, then you are correct. He is our player that we are featuring in our third episode of Player Analysis presented by GoBillsPodcast.com. And we will talk about him quite a bit today. If you don't know much about Mack Hollins, I'll bring up a little bit about him. He is 30 years old. He's been a leader throughout everywhere that he's been in the NFL, from college as a walk-on on special teams to being a special teams captain at North Carolina. He's pretty much done everything throughout his NFL career on special teams, but he also has played for a few teams with the Philadelphia Eagles, Miami Dolphins, Las Vegas Raiders, as well as the Falcons. He's carved out a good career on special teams, but he's also logged 131 receptions for 1,691 yards and 10 touchdowns. He's also entered the league in the fourth round with the Eagles in 2017. So let's talk more about Mack Hollins, and forgive me for just a second, but I'm going to bring him up on the screen. As you can see, obviously, joking aside and everything, I can't bring Mack Hollins on board the screen, but I do have a picture of him, as you can see, which is kind of ironic, guys. But as you can see, he played for the Atlanta Falcons last season in 2023, having 18 receptions for 251 yards in that season. He also is 6'4", 221 pounds, playing 30.53% of the offensive snaps. He's more of a special teams player, but he's also got a lot of skills that Buffalo needs. Drafted by the UNC, pretty much having a good career there, and he is a leader. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So let's go over the pros and cons of Mack Hollins and why he's going to be an intriguing prospect for the Buffalo Bills and what he can bring to Buffalo. Number one, he's going to bring high energy for the Buffalo Bills. And when you see these videos that I'm going to show you later on in the show, it's going to not only excite you, but it's also going to make you feel like what he can bring to Buffalo in terms of being inside Highmark Stadium. And as I like to call it, the old Ralph, what he will bring to the Buffalo Bills there. And imagine these plays that he's going to make in this film that you're going to watch, but imagine this inside Highmark Stadium and what it will be like in front of 70,000 fans who are passionate Bills fans, just like myself and just like you are. Imagine that, and imagine these moments that he's bringing for the Raiders as well as the Falcons in the videos that we will show. But imagine that inside Highmark Stadium and what it's going to be like. It's going to be absolutely electric. Time for UFL Football coming into the chat as well, saying, yo, Brett, appreciate you, UFL Football, coming into the chat. Don't forget to also like and subscribe. Follow us on social media, but also click the notification bell to be notified anytime we're going live on YouTube as well as on Facebook. You can be notified anytime we're going live. And also don't forget that our website is what's sponsoring us in these shows, GoBillsPodcast.com. click on over to the website. You can find all of our upcoming shows on our podcast schedule. All you have to do is click the little link that says podcast schedule. You'll find all of the shows that are coming up as well. But let's go more in depth on the pros and cons of what Mack Hollins will bring to Buffalo. And it's going to be that he tracks the ball very well. And in one of the clips that you're going to see, it's a bad throw by the quarterback, but what you see is Mack Hollins tracking the ball and redirecting his body so that he can make that catch over the shoulder. It's a very tough catch that he makes, but he makes the throw look good because he tracked it so well. He's also going to bring contested catch ability to the Buffalo Bills. And you'll see in some of the film, these catches that he's making are throws by quarterbacks like Taylor Heineke and Desmond Ridder that are just not that good of throws. And what he brings to the table is the ability, like I told you, to make a bad throw look good. And the quarterbacks that he played for last season weren't very good, but he's also going to be playing with Josh Allen, who's going to elevate his game to another level. And that's what really excites me about Mack Hollins, because when he played for the Las Vegas Raiders in 2022, he had a really good season with them. 57 catches for 690 yards, 4 touchdowns in that season. And if he can bring that to Buffalo as a number 4 or number 5 wide receiver, it not only excites me, but it makes this wide receiver room that much better. And we've talked about other guys in the wide receiver room, such as Marquez Valdez-Scantling, as well as Curtis Samuel. And if you have a guy like Mack Hollins who's going to have a good season for the Buffalo Bills, then that is going to be not only better for Keon Coleman and Curtis Samuel, but it's also going to be better for Khalil Shakir as well. He's an under-the-radar guy, just like Jake Podger's saying here. What's up, Brett? I think that the Hollins signing is something that has flown under the radar, and that's exactly what I'm saying here. You look at his salary here, $2.48 million salary cap hit. That excites me for the Buffalo Bills because you're not paying him so much money, just like what he has made throughout his career is not that much. But what he brings is leadership at a low cost for the Buffalo Bills, and that's what we needed this season with so much turnover for the Buffalo Bills with Stephon Diggs as well as Gabe Davis leaving Buffalo. He's going to bring veteran leadership that we needed in the locker room with Buffalo, and he's going to be a captain for this team. That's what I love for him. Also, size, leadership, as you guys are mentioning in the chat as well, saying that I doubt he makes the team, Jake. UFL Football, I honestly think he will make the team. I think that's why we brought him into Buffalo as well. He's also going to bring strong and quick cuts on breaks of routes. You'll see it in some of the film that we're going to see in a few minutes. The film that you're going to watch is not going to have any sound to it because of the copyright infringements that you do have with the NFL. They're really cracking down with YouTube as well as other sites being able to use their film. So we're going to try and get away with using their film by not having the sound on there. So that's what we're going to do as well. But he could come to Buffalo with as a 4 or a 5 wide receiver for the team. Also going to bring catches with his hands to him. Watch the way that he catches the ball and how he tucks it in right away. That's something that I love for him, especially with his body size at 6'4", in his size. He's going to catch those passes and he's going to tuck them into his body really well. I also mentioned the leadership, special teams captain, as well as high energy that he brings. Watch what he does on the field and how gritty he is on the field. It just excites me, and I can't imagine this in front of 70,000 fans who are going to go crazy every time that he catches a pass for the Buffalo Bills. Some of the cons for him are his route running variety. Doesn't really have a big variety. Also doesn't have the yards after the catch ability. That's one of the areas that he really struggles with. In other areas that he struggles with is contested catches on jump balls. Watch the film that you see here. You're not going to see him in the red zone making big catches. That's more of what Keon Coleman's going to do for Buffalo. But he's going to be a role player for Buffalo in terms of the wide receiver room. And if one of these guys goes down for Buffalo in terms of Curtis Samuel, who has an injury history, or Khalil Shakir, who right now in minicamp is dealing with an injury. If one of these guys goes down for a little bit of time, Mack Hollins can step up and he can be a very good target for Josh Allen. And not only that, but he can be a reliable target, which is what we kind of missed last season with Deontay Hardy as well as Trent Sherfield. They didn't really have that variety of being a good target and an accountable target for Buffalo. And that's why I think that the moves that Buffalo made this offseason by getting guys like Mack Hollins and Marquez Valdes-Scantling, as well as Curtis Samuel and Keon Coleman, and some of the other guys that we are going to feature later on in the player analysis series, that's what's going to excite me for the Buffalo Bills in terms of this new revamped wide receiver room. Pretty much the only guy that's in this wide receiver room that has any connection with Josh Allen and has caught a pass from Josh Allen, other than the tight ends on the roster, is going to be none other than Khalil Shakir. So this new wide receiver room is going to be pretty crazy. So as you see here, time for UFL Football saying Keon Coleman, Curtis Samuel, MVS, Shakir as well. And then you add in Hollins to the mix. It's just going to make this wide receiver room good. And then you have that number 6 guy who is going to be fighting for the roster with Trace Claypool as well as Justin Shorter and some of the other guys like Tyrell Shavers and a few other guys that are going to be in the mix for that number 6 role on the roster. John Robert coming into the chat as well. Appreciate you for joining us on Facebook. He will be 31 when the season starts. I do believe so. I think he will be 31. Let me see when he was born. He was born September 16th, 1993. So he will be 31. But again, like I told you, he's going to play a role on pretty much special teams, but not really going to be that starter like as a number 2 wide receiver or anything like that. He's going to come into games and just be that role player, which is why I think he's going to be a good fit for Buffalo. But watch and see the energy that he brings, and that's kind of been missing on special teams. We haven't really had that energy factor for Buffalo in the leadership department on special teams for quite a while. And I remember back to a wide receiver that's very familiar and kind of similar to what Mack Hollins is in terms of Andre Roberts. And he gives me kind of the same vibe of what Andre Roberts, Andre Holmes. I apologize. I got the wrong guy. But Andre Holmes, what he brought to Buffalo when he came over from the Las Vegas Raiders / Oakland Raiders at that time. He reminds me so much of him, but I think the upside of Mack Hollins compared to Andre Holmes is that much better for the Buffalo Bills and what he can bring. I'm not expecting him to go out there and have a spectacular year, but if he can get these numbers up to like 35 catches, 400 yards, somewhere in that range, that excites me. And if you can get those touchdown numbers up a little bit, 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, somewhere in there, then that's only going to be better for Buffalo. Let's go over more of the cons as well. And this isn't really a con, but I just put it on the list just because of the uniqueness of what Mack Hollins kind of is that he doesn't like shoes. And I found this by not only looking into interviews for him, as well as looking at some of the different videos that you see in the locker room for him. He's a funny character in the locker room. He really is. Doesn't like shoes, as well as doesn't like to be using utensils. And that's kind of unique for Buffalo, as you know. Most people that are in Buffalo pretty much eat with their hands. And I know Jake Podger and I, we're kind of the same type of characters out there on the, off the field. We like to eat pizza, wings, and we also like to eat burgers and fries and stuff like that. He fits exactly what Buffalo does. You eat with your hands pretty much, guys. I mean, it's a little bit disgusting. Yes, it is to a degree. But sometimes when you go to different places, you kind of have to eat with your hands when you're eating wings and stuff like that. So that's what kind of not really excites me about him. But he just fits into what Buffalo needs in the wide receiver room. So he also hasn't caught more than 16 catches in the first 4 seasons of his career with the Philadelphia Eagles and Miami Dolphins. So he's a little bit of a late bloomer to the case. But like I told you, he will add to this wide receiver room. He'll play a depth role for the team. And I think that he's going to be somebody that just comes into this room and really excites you on the sidelines by bringing energy and really getting guys to rally around him. And that's what I like about him. Time for UFL Football said, does he like Casa de Pizza? That's a good question. If you don't know, Casa de Pizza is a good place down in Southwest Florida. Check it out as well. But if he does like Casa de Pizza, then that'll be interesting. I imagine he will like it because it's a Buffalo place. And you can have ranch with blue cheese at this place. John Robert coming in saying Josh has a foot shake with Mack Hollins too. That would be pretty cool to see. If he has a hand, the handshakes that Josh Allen does, if he does a foot shake with Josh Allen, that would be incredible to see for me. I would love to see that. But let's get into the film study for Mack Hollins. As you know, you will not see any of the sound on these videos, but I will get to the film study. And the first play that we're going to watch here in the videos is going to be a contested catch that he makes over the middle of the field. And this play really excites me, and I want you guys to see it as well. I'm going to kind of go over it as you're watching it as well. But this catch right here that he makes over the middle of the field, you see him make a contested catch, and not really the yards after the catch that you want to see from him. But what you do see is that he makes a contested catch, doesn't really turn upfield. He does have defenders around him on that play. They're playing zone coverage for the Los Angeles Chargers. But what he does bring, like I told you, is that contested catch, catching it, tucking it in, like you see as some of the pros for him. But he struggles again with the yards after the catch. That's what I've gone over. Time for UFL Football said, you said it's okay to eat ranch. No, it's not on good wings, but it's okay to eat ranch with wings as long as you're not in Buffalo or not in the state of New York, is what I said. That's where I came into contact with that. It is wrong to eat ranch with wings in the greater state of New York. It's just not okay to do it in New York because they make their own ranch or they make their own blue cheese in New York, and it's so much better than what you get down here. Never in Buffalo. That's right. That's exactly what I'm saying, Jake. You can't do it in Buffalo. You can only do it as long as you're not in Buffalo or the greater upstate New York region is what I should go with. The South needs to learn. Yes, absolutely, is what I'm saying here. So let's go over the second video that we will see of Mack Hollins. In this video, you'll see him pretty much shaking ankles on this defender for the Tennessee Titans. And this video is what will electrify me if I'm inside Highmark Stadium, or as I like to call it, the Old Ralph. And this video is going to excite you. And I promise you, if you imagine Josh Allen throwing this pass to Mack Hollins in front of 70,000 fans out there for the Buffalo Bills, this is what you're going to imagine seeing from him. As you see him down at the bottom of the screen here, catching this pass, making number 37 right here look silly, absolutely crazy. Looks like he just lost his lunch money pretty much out there on the field. And, a big play ability, pretty much just stole the kid's wallet. He's going to get fined for losing his game check here. And that's what excites me about Mack Hollins. But like I said, imagine that play inside Highmark Stadium in front of 70,000 fans who are going to go absolutely electric for the Buffalo Bills when that play happens deep down the field. That throw was by Derek Carr on that play. Absolutely beautiful throw by him, making Mack Hollins go upfield and get some extra yardage. Let's go with another play, and this is something that excites me as well, and one of the pros for Mack Hollins is moving the chains over the middle in the slot game. And this is why I think he's going to be a slot game nightmare if he does get into the lineup. And let's say Khalil Shakir doesn't live up to that hype. This is where Mack Hollins can come into play. As you see here in the middle of the screen, coming into play right here, making a contested catch over the middle of the field. And I do believe this play was on 3rd down against the Arizona Cardinals. And that's what excites me about this play. Pretty much another good play out there as well. Time for UFL football saying, who looked great, Trent Sherfield. He needs to work to make it. That's exactly right. But I think that Mack Hollins has a better track record in terms of stats throughout his career versus Trent Sherfield. Trent Sherfield really had that one good season. But I think that with Mack Hollins, he has more of a proven career with being a wide receiver as well as the special teams breakdown. Let's go off another video here that you're going to see. And I want to go over this video because this is what will really excite you. And again, like I told you, in front of 70,000 fans here, this video is a trickery play that you're going to see from the Arthur Smith, who drew up this beautiful play to get Drake London to throw the ball back to Desmond Ridder and really have a deep throw to Mack Hollins down the field. Watch this play, guys. As you see here, the trickery play, flea flicker type play over the middle of the field. Mack Hollins coming down with a contested catch, moving the chains on this play. And just the trickery that you see on this play is just exciting. And like I said, imagine this play in front of 75,000 fans across the Buffalo Bills and their fan base going absolutely bananas when that happens. You're going to love seeing that for the Buffalo Bills. And let's go over this last play that you see from Mack Hollins in his track record. This is just tracking the ball. And I want you to see what Mack Hollins does off of a bad throw from Derek Carr, what he does to really track this ball down and turn it into from a underthrow into an excellent throw by Derek Carr on this play. He's up top on the screen here, going up, making an excellent catch on this play. And this is the 4th down, and I believe 15 on this play, making an excellent catch there and really turning the ball upfield for the Raiders and really getting the ball down the field into the opposing territory. Do have a few comments here coming in from Jake Podger as well as Time for UFL Football. I appreciate you guys in the chat. Yes, sir, as well as I'm rooting for that. That's exactly what I'm going for, guys. And if you don't know much about Mack Hollins, there's a lot of film out there as well. You'll see tons of film from guys on the Atlanta Falcons. They do have some great shows that they did with highlights of him. Also, go on over and check out his time when he was with the Las Vegas Raiders as well. It really excites me what you can see with Mack Hollins, but I can't wait to see him on the sidelines for Buffalo, and what he will bring to the team is what's going to excite me. Now, he will come to Buffalo wearing a new jersey number. He's pretty much worn number 10 or 18 throughout his career. He's going to have a new jersey number here. He's going to be number 13 on the Buffalo Bills. So look out during training camp as well as during pretty much the preseason and regular season for number 13 out there on the field and what he will bring to Buffalo. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Mack Hollins as well as what you think of the signing. Also, let me know what your stat predictions are for him because I'd love to know your thoughts as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and Threads, as well as on our website, gobillspodcast.com. Click on over to the podcast, and you can see anytime that we are going live on our channel, as well as when guys like Mike and Jake from Nickel City Mafia, as well as Sean Kula of the Red, White, and Bills, when they're going live as well. And you can also see giveaways as well as other things that we are doing throughout the offseason for Go Bills podcast. Also, don't forget that tomorrow we will have our next show and player analysis. This one I'm going to keep under wraps. I kind of want you guys to guess who this player is going to be. It will not be a wide receiver this time that we are going to feature. We're going to switch over to the defensive side of the ball and feature another guy on our player analysis series that is going to excite you. And this time, it's somebody that's going to be a ball hawk for the Buffalo Bills this season. And that's what excites me about him. So if you can guess who it is in the comments below, and we'll see who gets it right, let me know below. Also, don't forget that 8:30 tomorrow's our next show. And then we also have shows Thursday as well as Saturday and Sunday. We'll also have the Red, White, and Ruthless show on Nickel City Mafia on Saturday evening, starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So click on the notification bell. Let us know you guys are watching. And also don't forget to like this video as well. This has been the Go Bills podcast. We will see you next time for another edition of the Go Bills podcast. Until then, Go Bills.